Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Adam and welcome back to some more World of Tanks action. This time I am doing a review and gameplay of the Tiger P. This is a tier 7 German heavy. I will show you on the tech tree where it is as this. It researches into the Tiger 1, the Ferdinand, and the VK4502A. Now, let me give you some statistics on the tank. With 100% frontal view, we are looking at 110 millimeters of armor on the lower plate, 212 millimeters here on the upper plate, with this of course not taking into any consideration seeing that it is completely flat. So if someone were to shoot at this, it would be an auto bounce. This frontal plate right here is 180 millimeters. The turret ring itself is 110 millimeters, and these little side angle pieces right here, which are of huge weakness, is 106. And the turret itself is not very strong with 100 millimeters frontal. Of course, this around the turret ring is spaced armor, so you would not really have to worry about that penetrating easily. Turret side is 80 all around, though if anyone has the side of your turret and they shoot at it, it will most likely go in. Side of the tank actually isn't that strong. It is 80 millimeters all around other than front. So, also, it can mount the 88 centimeter or 8.8 centimeter L71, which I currently have mounted. It is a very good gun, excuse me, with 203 millimeters of penetration and 240 alpha damage. The DPM on this tank is not very good. It has somewhere around a little over an 8-second reload. So this tank does not have very much punch, and its DPM isn't astounding, but its armor is fairly good. Now let me give you my personal thoughts on the tank. It's not that good. It's very slow. I haven't had it catch on fire yet, but that chance of course is there, like in every other tank. It uses a gasoline engine, so it's a 20% chance to catch fire. And I haven't been ammo racked either, so the ammo rack seems fairly strong, but the turret is just terrible. It is easily penetrated. It has a very large cupola here, and the turret itself is fairly large and easy to hit. So if going up against a Tiger P, aim for the turret. It will be easily penetrated, or one of these side pieces. How I first started playing this tank, I thought it would be good for side scraping, but with the extreme frontal mounted turret here, it doesn't make side scraping very easy, and these are very easy to hit when the tank is being side scraped. And the side armor does not really help too much because, as you can tell, first off, you don't have any skirts over the tracks, and you can easily tell where the tracks are and where the side of the turret is, or side of the tank is. My apologies. This makes it very easy to know where to shoot this tank, and honestly speaking, the tank, I do believe, should either played very passively as a support sniper with its very good accuracy and aim time, or it should be played really aggressively in close quarter situations, because under stress a lot of players tend to shoot whole armor. So if possible, either snipe or play very aggressively in a spot where you cannot be flanked easily, because the tank is slow, its traverse is slow, and the turret traverse is slow. So now we're going to go over to gameplay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the gameplay. Of course, as stated, this is the Tiger P. We are playing on Muravenka Encounter. Alright, and as we see from the lineup here, it is a Tier 7 matchup, and only Tier 7 matchup, which is fairly unique. And this gameplay is by no means the best gameplay that can be done in the Tiger P. This gameplay did get me the first class mastery badge, so this tank could be played in upwards of 4% better to get the Ace Tanker badge. Once again, the jittering is a desync issue with replays. I am still trying to figure out how to prevent this, but until I do, we will have to sadly cope with it. So, in this gameplay, I am going to be playing that more of a passive sniper support role, as I mentioned in the tank overview. And as you can see to this Tiger P to my left of me, his armor is not holding up very well. But I am very confident in shooting through all these bushes because the enemy will not be able to spot me. So I was able to do 446 damage to that IS within 2 shots. And as you guys can see, the reload is not horrible, its accuracy is fairly good. So this tank isn't all bad. It's slow, and it doesn't have the best armor, and it's not good at side scraping, but what it does have is a very good gun. The reload time could be a little bit faster, but you know, you can't have everything. So this is very passive play, as I have stated, with this tank, and if you are going into the woods, I would suggest more passive play, just because you have more of an advantage if they come to you. You are less likely to be spotted when shooting at the enemy. And as you can see here, I did hold that shot a little bit just because I did not want to hit that T-29 on our team. If I would not have held that shot, I would have easily have gotten the killing blow on that tank. So now I'm playing a little bit more aggressively here, just because our other side is not pushing, and we know for certain that a lot of the tanks are here. That shot into that T-29 did not penetrate, or it missed. I am not sure. It was a non-damaging shot. So this gameplay, as I stated once again, is just one of the few ways that this tank can really be played effectively. I'd also, just because of this map, I'm not playing aggressively. If it was a map where closed spaces are easy to come by, such as in a large town or city area, it'd be especially good. Now, I was only able to get a tracking shot onto that T-29. I cannot really tell by his angle if that would have been a penetrating shot or not, or if it was just a tracking shot, but do not recall whether that shot penetrated or that shot just completely missed in general. But as you can see here, the tank isn't terribly slow traverse. It is slow, but it's not, you know, terrible. You know, it's manageable. And with it, I would say this tank, if used properly, is actually a very real threat and should not be overlooked. I do realize that this tank gets a pretty bad rap for just being, you know, bad. And though it is somewhat true, I would still consider it one of a major threat in the battlefield. Just because a lot of people, it's not a very common tank, so a lot of people do not know actually where to shoot it. you will of course run into the people that do, and if so, they will just shoot your turret and pen you every time. Able to get a really nice shot onto that T-29 before he YOLOs into his for sure demise. But as I see that the game is kind of, I wouldn't say wrapping up, but starting to get close to that point, I'm going to start playing more aggressively now, and hopefully get a little bit more damage off than what I have currently. Alright, so I get in an encounter with the Tiger here. He shot a HE round at me, not really sure why he did that, but when I went to engage that Tiger, I am at an angle, and please realize that angling your armor is actually especially good, just giving them more area to penetrate. Like, it takes a lot more penetration to penetrate angled armor, just because it adds more resistance, of course. So I was able to easily thwart off that Tiger attack, and am now going to help my team clean up the rest of the enemies. And as you can see here, the tank isn't terribly slow. We're going anywhere from, well, that stuttering, of course, is the replay, but roughly 24 kilometers, or yeah, 24 kilometers an hour, which doesn't make it that fast, but it's not terribly slow for a heavy tank. And here you'll see the armor tested a little bit more. There I have eyes on the KV-3. I did bounce a shell, and I do believe I bounced the AT-15 or T-25 AT, and there I bounced the T-29. Easily able to take him out, though my shot only did 16 damage. And I take one more shot into the KV-3 before trying to find the bigger threat, which at this moment is not really the KV-3. Actually, oh wait, yes, I do. The KV-3 is then taken out. And this T-29, of course, is looking at me. So, and right here, I'm actually very, very selfish, which is not recommended, but I hold my shot until I have the killing blow, because I needed that one kill for the challenge. But even if it's for the challenge or not, you should not be that selfish ever. Just take the shot. If it's penetrating, just take it, do that damage. It'll help your team a lot more than just last hitting. So that is kind of a general gameplay for the Tiger P. It is nothing special, with only 2,500 damage done, 3 kills. One was, of course, a well, last hit, but nonetheless, it was a fairly average game in the Tiger P. And what I hope you guys will get from this gameplay is that though the Tiger P is not that great of a tank, it can still be used effectively and can be a major threat to the enemy. It does have a good gun. Its turret armor is really bad. Its frontal armor is good, but if you angle it, it's better. But if you angle it once again, the side armor is very weak, and the little angled pieces are very weak as well. So in all, I would say this tank is average, and I haven't really been able to get a game which is much better than this at all. This was 1200 experience just because I got a lot of spotting damage, and did a lot for my team. So once again, ways you can play this tank that I would foresee being really good, and how I have practiced doing it is very passive play, sniping, such as this gameplay, or very aggressive play, getting up into other tanks, very close quarters kind of situations. People tend to panic, and with that panic you can take advantage of it and use your fairly good gun to just roll them over. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you got a little bit out of it, and I hope that you understand and enjoyed the Tiger P a little bit more, because it's bad, but it's not terrible. And once again, guys, I will see you